Welcome to the legs tutorial here. We're going to paint these beautiful legs, and this is one that you can really customize to whatever you want. So I'm going to do a certain background, but you can feel free to do whatever you would like to. First, I'm going to take this pink color and I'm just going to start from the center of the painting. And you can paint the whole thing, or you can go on the outline here. I'm going to go on the outline so that I don't have to do multiple coats of my leg color. And we're just going to kind of do like a circle in the middle here. Using the 1-inch flat brush. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to blend it out, but I want to get it somewhat centered. If you want to, you can totally do it not centered as well. It's up to you, whatever you'd like. You can use different colors, or you can paint a completely different background. And this shouldn't take very long. It's just a rough circle, so you don't have to spend a ton of time getting it perfect. All right, and now that we've got that filled in, we're going to switch over to our red paint. And we're going to kind of blend these two together. So you want to do it pretty quickly. You want it to be kind of wet still where you have the pink, so that it really will blend nicely. So it kind of acts as a sort of a spotlight. So where the light's shining, it's a little lighter, and then where it's not shining, it's going to be this darker red. And you can use 2 different colors if you'd like to. Just make sure that they kind of are on analogous, which means they're next to each other on the color wheel. So light blue, dark blue, blue, purple, green, yellow, things like that. Otherwise, you might end up mixing a bad color in there. If you need to use a smaller brush to get into this area, you can, or you can paint the entire canvas first with the background color and then paint over the legs and stuff with your leg color. I am just trying to keep it from being too much of an issue with my paints being kind of transparent. So once you've blended around all of the pink areas, you can go ahead and fill in the rest with the red. And don't forget to paint the edges of your canvas as well. If you would like to, you could also add like a black or a darker red on the outside. I'm just going to leave mine with the two colors. But you would just do it the same way we did the pink and the red. Once you are finished with that part, go ahead and wash out your big brush. And you'll want to wash it and then wipe it on a paper towel, or if you have a rag. Even a baby wipe will work, whatever you have handy. I want to get that cleaned off because it will hurt your brush if it's still, if it has dry paint on it. Okay. So now that we've done that, we'll have to wait for it to dry and then we can move on to the leg color. The leg color, it depends on what you are going for. You can either do a natural skin tone. I will be using this natural beige color, so it's kind of similar to my skin tone. And you can also do brown or black, any color that you choose that's natural. Or you can also go for like maybe tights. So let's say if you want to do a Halloween one, you can put green tights on her, so you can paint her legs green. So it's really up to you what you would like to do. You could even do like a candy stripe for Christmas. Maybe do a green background and candy striped legs, or candy striped with green and a red background. You can do fishnet if you wanted to use like a black paint marker. You could do like fishnet stockings over your natural color. So there's really endless possibilities on this. And I'm going to be painting a dress, so it's going to be a skirt coming down. But you could also do pants or shorts, really anything you want to. So the possibilities are endless. So now that our painting is dry, this usually doesn't take very long to dry. Now that our painting is dry, I'm going to take my round brush. It's like a size 8 or size 12 round brush, kind of just a bigger size. This is your detail brush, so you can see the difference there. And here's the difference between your 1 inch and your round. I'm going to take my round brush and I'm going to use my natural beige color to paint my legs. Just go ahead and just kind of fill in the entire leg. This is a really nice color for a Caucasian person. I'm not sure yet on the colors for Latino, slash Hispanic, or African. Asian will be similar probably to this, depending. But you can really just look in the store and choose, or you can get, if you don't like any of those ready-made tones, you could also mix together red, yellow, and blue, and either black or white possibly to get the shade that you want. And like I said, you can do green and make an alien if you want to, or black to make, you know, leather pants. So I'm probably going to do this painting a lot of times because of all the different possibilities that I want to try. You can see where my paint is overlapping a bit here with my red. That's alright if it shows a little bit, or I can go over it with another coat. Now I'm going to make sure that I paint my edges again. I will be covering this with a skirt, but it's nice to have a clean finished surface to go off of. And I did outline my tracer with a black Sharpie. It helps to show up on the camera, but it also helps it to not be covered up by the paint if you do want to paint the whole background first. And I don't quite have that dry. I'm going to go ahead and wash my brush because I messed that up. And I can just use a baby wipe to kind of get that off of there. Baby wipes are really nice for that. Looks like I need a tiny bit more paint, so I'm just going to add a little more. Okay. And because our legs are not just 2D objects, we're going to add just a little bit of shading. So and there we go again. I'm going to blend that out. Because I'm going to add some shading through here, so it won't matter. So I want to add a little bit of shading on this. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown to the paint I already have. Not much, just a little drop there. And mix that up. And I'm going to just go underneath the thigh here a little bit. And then kind of along the legs. You don't have to be super precise with this. Once we've done that, I'm going to add some white. And again, you don't have to do the shading if you don't want to. You can have it just be a 2D object. It'd be like a pop painting. So I'm going to add a little bit of white. To that color I just mixed. Just do some strokes throughout just to kind of give it a little more depth. And then I might just go in with a little bit of just the white. And if you ever don't like the way it looks, you can always go back with your original leg color and kind of go blend a little bit of that back in. Always make sure that you switch, always make sure that you clean your brush in between colors. Unless you're blending them, sometimes it's okay to not clean it as long as it's close to the same color. So I'm just going to go back in and just kind of touch this up a little bit. And you can even add splashes of the background color in here too if you'd like to. But I think I'm going to leave mine as is. As you can see, I've gotten a little bit of paint here. Just going to use my baby wipe. And then I'll just paint back over that with a little bit of red. There we go. Now I'm going to work on my shoes. I want to get my small detail brush. Now my skirt is going to be the sparkly gold, and it's going to come down here. So for the shoes, I want to do something that's kind of fun, that still matches my dress, but isn't necessarily an exact match. I think that I will do a sparkly heel. So first I will paint with my pink for the background that I had. I'm going to paint the heel. This will give me a background color for my sparkle. And I think I'll do up here as well. If you want to, you can also use the paint markers to do little designs on the shoes. And let's have fun with this. I'm going to do some yellow. Do a yellow stripe. And I'm going to do black. I'm going to go ahead and just use my paint marker for that. And now that I've done that, I'm gonna put my sparkle paint on there. And we'll see how that looks. It's always fun to add sparkles. And for good measure, once the sparkles is dry, I'm going to outline the rest of the shoe with my black. And I'm also going to outline my legs. I like the look of the outline. If you don't, that's okay. You don't have to outline yours. And you can use a brush and paint for this part as well. I just find it a little bit easier to use the paint marker instead. And if you're happy with the painting like this, then that is perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and paint my skirt on there though. And I think I'm gonna use my 1-inch flat brush. So I'm going to use this brown color that I got out earlier. It's cinnamon brown. And I'm going to make an underskirt and then my overskirt. So I just want to get it where it's going to go for now. So my under part, this will probably need 2 coats to be dark enough. And this could just be your skirt, and you wouldn't even have to do the overskirt if you don't want to. If you don't have the sparkles, or if you want to do that and you don't have the sparkles, you can just do a transparent layer like this one started out being. If you need to make your paint more transparent, just add a tiny bit of water to it. and I'll have to wait for that to dry before I can move on. I'm just gonna map out where my second layer is gonna go while this dries. Okay, now I'm going to take a larger brush and put my sparkles in. All that's left to do is to write any words that you would like to write over on this side. It can be a quote, or it can be things that you like about yourself, or you can leave it blank. It's really up to you. You could doodle all over it if you wanted to. I love to go Latin dancing, so this makes me think of something I would wear going out dancing, and probably have an addition of a strap here. So if you want to change up the shoes, you can. If you wanted to add a little strappy, or if you wanted to completely change the shoes to a sandal, anything you want to do. But I think I'll leave it as is for now. I think that for my phrase, though, I'm gonna do something with dancing. So I'm gonna just write down a few of the different dance things I like to do. So we've got bachata, I'll do that there, tango, salsa,